The next guy we're going to talk about, Isaiah Likely, you would think would be my favorite choice, and he certainly is one of them. I thought it was a great draft pick by the Ravens. A big body, a guy who showed receiving skills in college, and essentially he's a big slot in a lot of ways. Although his blocking has improved throughout the year, but it would not be fair for me to talk about his blocking at length because I didn't do so with the other tight ends. Even though I watch more Ravens film and do a whole lot more Ravens coverage, I'd like to try to stay balanced in this video. Look, Isaiah Likely doesn't offer the downfield seam routes that Cade Otton or Greg Dulcich do, and even to a lesser extent Jelani Woods, who hasn't gotten as many targets. But what he does offer is a big target and someone who gets yards after the catch. He can beat man coverage, as you see here on the snag flat concept against the Bucks. Had a huge game against them. And the thing I would like to mention about Isaiah Likely that I think is important is his ability to step up when called to. When Mark Andrews was out, like he went out in injury in this game, or didn't play, like against the Saints, Isaiah Likely came up big. And he showed why the Ravens drafted him in the 4th round. Been a huge pick, if you ask me, for them. This is a 24-yard gain on a fake quarterback sneak. And it's the physicality of Isaiah Likely, no matter who he's facing, that I think is interesting. Watch him shed this linebacker with one hand and just move him out of the way. Now the linebacker's moving laterally, so, leverage-wise and momentum, he's being assisted in that manner, but that's a strong guy. I feel like basketball's got to be something that's in his background. Moving while using his hands. Here he is, by the way, at the left-hand side of the screen. It's tough for me to be fair because I've seen more Likely film. Athleticism-wise, I would say Otton or probably Greg Dulcich would be a better choice because of the downfield threat. But you can see from some of these plays that Isaiah Likely offers that as well. But I don't think the burst is there as much on the downfield routes. Like Dulcich running that wheel, he runs that wheel like a receiver. This is Likely running a wheel, and it's a 34-yard gain, don't get me wrong. But I just don't feel like it's as much of a threat to actually, take this thing to the house. Even though, the ball's got to fit inside that pocket there by Lamar because he's got other defenders and the sideline to deal with. The Ravens are really blessed at tight end to have Mark Andrews under contract for a while and Isaiah Likely on a rookie contract. It's a unique situation. I'm not sure how they're going to mitigate it in terms of targets, but Isaiah Likely's got to get on the field. There's other guys in this video, other tight ends, who have not received all of the opportunities that they should have talent-wise, and I think Isaiah Likely falls in that category as well. You guys let me know what you think if you're a Ravens fan who's watched all of these tight ends at different times, because I know there's people who watch like every game on every Sunday. I'm not one of those people. Or if you're a fan of another team who's still listening to me talk about Isaiah Likely, do you agree? I feel like a lot of these rookie tight ends have not received the opportunities, and I kind of alluded to it earlier with Cade Otton. I feel like he gets targeted late in games, but if you look at the targets for like the first 2.5 quarters often, he's like not targeted at all for the Bucks. And then all of a sudden he'll be targeted like 5 times in the second half and have 4 catches for 50 yards or something. I feel like that's a consistent theme with some of these rookie tight ends. Not the first half not being targeted thing, but not being utilized as much as they could be. The talent is there. With Likely, the ball skills are there. He did have a couple of drops earlier in the season. After the Miami game, I think he had a drop or two in the Jets game, first game of the season, to be honest with you. This is very similar to that play I showed you against the Saints, making it look like speed option out here to the right, where Lamar could pitch it to the running back, and Likely's just releasing past people. So this isn't him beating people man-to-man, obviously. This isn't him finding a spot in the zone. This is kind of like, it's not really a trick play, but it's a pseudo-trick play. But you have examples of him beating people in man-free, and I'm going to show you a couple of them here. 2nd and 7 against the Giants, week 6. This is an absolute mismatch. Him against some of these inside linebackers, and occasionally there's been outside linebackers asked to guard him. As a Ravens fan and a Ravens content creator who watches a lot of film, if you're new to watching Ravens film or maybe listening to me because you watch this video because of some other players, They're missing opportunities in 12 personnel, meaning meaning the Ravens. They are missing opportunities for big plays. And Isaiah Likely is the guy that I'm referring to be out there along with Mark Andrews. Coming from Coastal Carolina, there was a lot of talk that he didn't block well. And I'll be honest with you, I was one of those people who said that when the Ravens drafted him. I was one of those people who said he doesn't appear to block well. But he has blocked better as the season has progressed, and he's made big plays. And they've started to utilize him in multiple concepts. Early in the season, like here, he had a little bit of trouble with physicality. You'll see it. Bumped off his routes occasionally. You'll see him get bumped here by offensive linemen for his own team. Still able to make use of the space provided underneath of the DN, get an 8-yard gain. The Ravens should be more creative, if you ask me, in using him. He's capable of more than just running your over route, and this is an example of it. He's finding space on the scramble drill. If you don't understand it, if you're not aware of it, the top of the numbers is a landmark for spread teams, for teams that throw the ball a lot in the scramble drill. It's a landmark, an area that you want to get someone to. And he sees Lamar scrambling in this direction. He understands where that landmark is. Someone's got to get there. If you're running a short route and the quarterback scrambles to your side, you either want to go long or you want to come back to the ball. If running a long route, you sometimes want to come back to the ball, make yourself available. In this case, Likely's on an intermediate route, has the awareness to bring this back to the top of the numbers, and Lamar finds him. That's why I say he's got more versatility than just being a tight end. He's got wide receiver skills and wide receiver awareness in a tight end's body. I feel like he's a big asset. Is he the best rookie tight end in the league? I can't say that right now. I think the Ravens are happy. Ravens fans would not trade him for anyone. But I kind of already talked earlier that I think Otton and Dulcich they offer a little bit more downfield threat in the seams, and Likely just hasn't been utilized in that way yet. Having said that, it's possible that that's in his game. The Ravens playbook, the Ravens play calls just might not have used it yet. Let me know what you think of Isaiah Likely in the comment section.